when you read or look or even listen, the overwhelming majority of discussions on this week's Torah portion center around one climactic moment: the reconciliation between Joseph and his brothers. Everything has been building to this juncture, and it's a scene full of tears, dramatic revelations, and the kind of redemptive forgiveness that makes us all feel warm and fuzzy inside. But our attention to this culminating moment distracts us from a far more important transformation and a far more applicable lesson. So tonight, let's explore a less lauded but no less vital story of reconciliation that lies underneath the simple text, hiding in plain sight. First, we have to remember how this tale began. Jacob, the father of these 12 boys, favored Joseph and made no attempt to conceal or curb his preferential treatment. It was such extreme behavior, including a very garish jacket, that ultimately led the brothers to decide to murder Joseph. After some intervention, they change course and decide to sell him into slavery instead. Then they return home and explain Joseph's disappearance by claiming that wild beasts tore him apart and killed him. It just screams musical comedy, I know. Then we have chapters that follow Joseph as he makes his way from slavery to second in command in Egypt. When we next meet Jacob and his sons, decades have passed. Yet seemingly nothing has changed. Believing that Joseph is dead, Jacob chose a new favorite son, this time Benjamin. All the other brothers once again know that they are less loved. The family is back in the same situation that led the brothers to do violence to Joseph. They stand poised to plunge once more into the same destructive pattern. And yet somehow this time they avoid it. The text doesn't explain how it happened. It goes unremarked. The text doesn't even telegraph that we should be stunned. But as close readers, we notice, and we are puzzled. Why don't the brothers feel hatred towards Benjamin? Why are they no longer shaken by Jacob's disregard? These brothers have changed. How did it happen? Still, the text is silent. And in that silence, we wonder, what must it have been like for the brothers to see their father pick a new favorite son? To realize that selling their brother into slavery was all for naught. Their pain, their neglect, the lack of parental love was still waiting for them when they returned home. What must it have been like for them to realize that Joseph wasn't the problem at all, that the true source of their resentment and anger was their flawed father? And now, seeing once again that he's ready to poison the peace of their family, they can either walk down the same perilous path that he paves with his favoritism, or they can choose to go another way. This is the great unheralded transformation at the heart of the Joseph story. In the past, the brothers believed that they could change their father. They were convinced that there was something they could do to make Jacob love them. Now they confront a terrible yet liberating realization. Nothing they will ever do will change Jacob or his treatment of them. And so all they can do is change their reaction to his behavior. This reconciliation of who they wished their father was with who he truly is seethes beneath the surface of the text. It is what makes for the coming dramatic reconciliation between the brothers. The realistic assessment of Jacob's deficiency as a parent enables the brothers to continue to love Benjamin. It frees the brothers to find the love they need and they deserve in other spaces. It allows them to feel regret and shame for what they did to Joseph. The brothers have come to accept a vital lesson, that our behavior rarely transforms someone else. This moral is important because it flies in the face of so many of the stories we love to tell about one character's ability to redeem another. Eliza and Professor Higgins, the kind priest in Jean Valjean, Beauty and the Beast. But despite such stories, in the real world, it is a rare thing. People can change one another, but it is the stuff of hard work sustained over a long period of time. And more importantly, it requires all parties to want to change. Much more often, when confronting someone's challenging behavior, the best thing we can do is adjust our own relationship to it. We cannot change them. We cannot control them. But we can control our expectations of them. We can control our reactions to them. And we can control what degree we wish to engage them in relationship. And those are powerful tools that can alter our reality for the better. That kind of transformation does not make for dramatic narrative, but it can make for dramatic good in our lives. That kind of transformation may not be heartwarming, but it can be life-giving. And sometimes that's more important. This week, we find the greatest lesson not in the epic, but in the everyday reconciliations.